I'm here again with the Artsy August Bingo, and I'm going to be playing again, and this time I'm going to play with stencils. At the end of the video, I will post in the description Cara Brandon's and friends' link to her Facebook challenge, and if you Google hashtag Artsy August Bingo, you might be able to find the group that way as well. For the month of August, we will be playing with this bingo card, which is an artsy card, and each square has a style of art, and we can pick what we would like to do. And anyway, Cara will have prizes for this. If you go to the channel, to her Facebook group, you'll be able to find out a lot of information about this. Today I'm going to play with stencils, and I hope you stick around and watch what I do with some of the ephemera that I'm going to be using for the Flamingo Friday challenge, which is also in Cara's group, and you can find out information about that as well. So here we go. This is one of Cara's tags, and as you can see, I sort of started this. I had the idea of taking, this is Cara's, one of her tags, and then she had provided some rectangles that could be used for pockets, tucks, or whatever, but I decided I'm going to fold them over on this tag, but I'm going to stencil them. And as you can see, I just have this paper clip fast. You could scotch tape it, but then you risk tearing the paper. But I am using pastel chalk, and I'm also using a brush, and I'm taking the brush across the chalk, picking up the color, and then dabbing it or brushing it into the stencil on the area that I want to color. I've already used green for the center, which I don't know why I chose green. I used it for the leaves and the center, but I think what I'm going to do is I'll clean this brush, and then I'm going to use some a darker color for that center of the flower. I'm using a piece of felt to kind of just rub that color off the brush. When I'm finished with this, I'll wash the brush. Now for the center, I think I'll go with, I'll go with this darker color here. Take that off, and you can see it's very subtle, but I think it's very pretty how it got, and I think I might use a spray fixative on that so that it doesn't brush off. I'm going to remove that layer, and I think on this layer I'm going to position this up high on the blue, and again I'm going to, I think I'm going to use this it's not coming through as much. Let me see if I just take the chalk I'm not liking how that's working out. So let's see, just brush that into there. Let's get that out of there. And then I think I'm going to take maybe a purple. I've never done stenciling like this before, and the tag design is new to me as well. And I probably wouldn't have thought to do this if it wouldn't be for this bingo challenge, to do stenciling. And the pieces I'm working on are actually for the other challenge I'm involved with, which is that Flamingo Friday. And so I thought to do both at the same time, that I would do some stenciling on the ephemera that's going to go in that journal. I'm gonna So, oh no. I'm going to glue that in place, and then I will position this back, glue that in place, and maybe I can drop it down further, yeah, I think so. It's different. Could add some other elements in here. I might do another flower, just maybe the flower head there. And I have some other pastel chalks here, other colors. Maybe a different kind of brush might work better too. I actually have, I think, some old stenciling brushes that I should have maybe pulled out and tried that. Let's see what that looks like. I like that. And you can maybe a little bit of that here, not the whole thing, just part of it. And well, I got some on an area that I didn't want to. I wonder if I can brush. Yep, came right off. So that tells me that I need to use the spray fixative. I don't know how that's going to work. So what I'm going to do, I normally would put that in a spray box. Let me see. Pull that fixative out here. This is actually a pastel fixative. So we'll let that dry. It's curling the paper, but I'm sure that it will flatten out when it's dry. And when it's dry, then I will continue to work on gluing that together, and I will continue working on the tag. So now let's go on to another stencil. This, I'll get some of the fixative on there. This is a cheapy stencil that I got at the Dollar Tree, and you can see how flimsy it is. It's designed with a sticky back, so that you would put it on maybe a piece of wood or something else, not paper. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to remove that sticky back, and because it is so flimsy, I don't know how it will work with things, but I'm going to give it a try. I think what I'd like to try with this is maybe these distress crayons. I'm not sure if, I don't know, they looked a little smushed. Let's see what happens with this. It might be difficult to get this to clean. Could just use a spray, distress sprays instead of these crayons. That may be much better than trying to do this, but I don't know until I try. And as I said, this stencil is, if I can't get it clean, I don't care if I actually cut it from a full page, so it's not the entire stencil being wasted. I don't know if there's a way to sharpen these. I guess you could use a knife to get a point on there. I don't want to do that. Well, I think I'm just making a big mess. I'm going to continue with that. Yeah, that's not working very well. Well, you can see part of it. Believe in the impossible. The always didn't get as nice as it could have. And I don't know if I could think that's going to, I don't think I can match it up very well. See if I could get that. Well, you can see it a little bit better, but I'm not so sure I like that. So I don't know if we'll consider that to be a dud. We'll move on from there. I'll try to clean this later. So let's see. Next thing I want to try is a stencil with maybe texture paste. I love this circle stencil, and this is a coffee dyed watercolor paper. And I think what I want to do, and of course this is going to have to dry. I have some homemade texture paste here. It's been a while since I used it, so hopefully it'll be cooperative in allowing me to spread it around on the stencil. Now, if you don't have a knife like this, you could use a credit card, and you can make your own texture paste. I've heard people say they actually use spackling compound. There are recipes out there using powder and I can't think of what's called now. Gesso. Now with the texture paste, you really need to wash your stencil immediately because the texture paste could ruin the stencil. So anyway, let's take a look at how that got. It's interesting. And I will do more things to that. I will be right back. We should have stopped the camera for that, but I did not. Now the other thing that I wanted to try with this watercolor paper and stencils I need a baby wipe for those, for the texture paste. I would like to try to stencil on this as well, and I think I will go back to using the flower in some of these, And instead of using the chalks or the Distress, I have the Neocolor crayons to try. And I don't know for sure how that'll be, but I mean, randomly I mostly see it catching on the edges here. I don't know that it's actually going to go through. I've used this. No, that's not going to work. So let's scratch that idea. So my next thing to try will be some Distress sprays. I have I don't know if that's going to work in such a small spot either, but whoa. No, I don't see that as a good way. Well, maybe just doing it in one color rather than trying to do multiple colors through there. I don't really particularly like that, but that's how that would get. Maybe I'll try back on this watercolor paper. Whoops. To do the flowers here, and I'll try this pink again. That's probably not going to, that's okay, not very impressive. You should know what you're doing when you do these things, right? And it's obvious I do not. Nope, don't like that. Well, that didn't work out very well, so we won't be trying that. Alrighty, well, this is my little attempt at stenciling. I've been much more successful at stenciling with other stencils and using Distress inks, and let me see here. That probably is what I should have went with. I'm going to go right over top of this, and see if I can get looking for my green dauber. Here's one. Now I'm going over that pink that I put down, so it's probably not going to be very effective. Let's see. I can see that. Let's try another one right here. it's very subtle, but it shows you some options for working with the stencils. I like to use the inks better than more than the other options that I tried here. I think it's because you have more control, especially if you use small daubers. Anyway, that's my little experiment for today with playing bingo and working with some stencils. I will put the links below this video. I hope you like and subscribe, and hope to see you at the challenges. Bye.